Hi everyone, Beckie Belote here. I am a creative memories advisor in Newport News, Virginia, and I am a little late today because this little contraption here that I use so that you can see my hands when I'm teaching, somehow on the weekend retreat, things got packed up kind of in a hurry, and finding that stinking thing took a three-man show. I mean, we were looking everywhere. And so we found it just in the nick of time. I was getting ready to come on and just tell you that this is going to be postponed. but but I haven't done that in like 2 years, so I really didn't want to do that. So, anyways, glad to be here. We had a fabulous time in at the Outer Banks, and it was, man, it just feeds your soul. I slept with my door open to the hotel room, which faced right on the ocean, and it was really windy, so the waves were crashing. And it was cool out, but for whatever reason, the wind wasn't blowing into the room. So I just kept that door open all night. I did start thinking, what if somebody like in the movies jumps over the balcony and comes in and gets me? But I decided I wasn't going to worry about that because it's in a very, very sweet part of North Carolina. And then the day that we left, it was so wonderful because I woke up early. And again, the door was open so I could see straight outside, and it was dark, but on the horizon, you could see a strip of just a strip of red where the sun was coming up, and the moon and stars were still out. It was just a sight to see. So, anyways, to be surrounded by all of my scrapbooking peeps all weekend and to finish with that beautiful gift from God was really special. So, anyways, glad to be here today. I am rejuvenated, um, even though even though I don't think I've had a shower today. I know I haven't. But we're gonna jump into this anyways, and hopefully, I have some great tips for you. So I'm going to change the screen. By the way, if you have never shopped with me before, if you just buy in at creativememories.com and you're not picking an advisor at all, I encourage you to pick an advisor, and I really encourage you to pick me. So let me go ahead and give you my website. It's www.creativememories.com/user /Beckie, Beckie, and my last name is Belote, Belote. So that's www.creativememories.com /user /Beckie Belote, Belote. So thank you for your support. I know any of us that you would pick, we are just so grateful. We get a little notification. It makes our day. In fact, I have somebody that ordered from me just today that I'm getting ready to send a message to because I don't recognize you as having ordered before. So if you're watching, thank you. It already made my day. That's probably why I'm so perky, even though I look kind of grimy. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to change my screen for you. And here we go. All right, so the first thing I want to show you is a border maker trick. And I'm going to go ahead and throw this in here. It's not really a trick, but it's something that you may or may not have thought of. I love this Angel Border Maker cartridge. All right. And so, I could see us using this, of course, during Christmas, of course, during Easter and our religious holidays. Um, but I also see angels when we're having an emergency. So for any of you that have to pull out the on the mend set, for your little emergencies, um, we had a little crash. It's okay. Everything is very good here. No worries. But anyways, those little emergencies, like, if you had somebody to have to go to the hospital, I could see that. I know when my sweet Zoe was born, she had a little emergency, and we were, in the chapel at the Children's Hospital, the King's Daughters. I think angels. I like some angel action. All right, so let's use this one to make something that many of you, every year, you all make Christmas trees. I see my customers, they're wanting to do a different Christmas tree every year. So go ahead with your border maker system and cut yourself two strips of angel. So that's one strip that I'm going to need. And I'm going to do one more strip of angels. And I'm using green, not because I think we have Martian angels. I'm doing green because we're making Christmas trees out of our ink. All right. And again, you probably can get by with less, or you could make a bigger tree. I'm just showing you what I did. Okay. So let me get some of these scraps out of the way, saving my tree, my angels, and I am getting rid of the scraps. All right. So what I'm going to do is grab my scissors. Let's see where. Hold on a second. I'm getting in my little tote here. Let's see. We've got. I just couldn't resist pulling out my Christmas scissors today. What do you think about that? They're in a bundle now. And I am thinking if you're looking for a Christmas idea for your child's teacher, every teacher needs scissors, and how festive would it be to have red and green scissors? So we have the regular and the snip, the ones for precision cuts, your fussy cutting. So I brought those out for you to see. If you have a scrapbooker in your family, if you have a crafter in your family, and you do Christmas stockings, these are going to fit perfectly in a Christmas stocking. So great idea for that. All right. So what you should do, we don't really need these precision point right now. This is too easy for that. I'm gonna do five. One, two, three, four, five little angels. All right, and then I'm gonna do four little angels. One, two, three, four. And we're gonna nestle them like that. And then I'm gonna do another four because I want my tree to be a little taller. And then I'll go grab this three and put him in there. And then I think I did another three and a two and a one. All right. And then for the star, we do have in the Magic of Christmas line the stickers, the die cuts. Also in the gingerbread line, there's some little stars. But I wanted to also let you know that for those of you that got the compass, I have the most beautiful idea for a star. And I am going to use, how about this piece of paper? Your gold shimmer is beautiful with this too. So, then what I did, I mean, actually, this doesn't look so bad the way it is. I know sometimes I see tree toppers that look kind of like that. But you also can just cut out these little spindles, the ones that go in between. I have a finished version, so I'm just going to get you started so that you can see what to do. But I'm just cutting out those curved. This actually is a very good at time pull out my precision point scissors because this is better for these little intricate cuts like that. There's easier to get to. So you're just going to cut out all those rounded pieces is what you're going to do. And in just a moment, you'll see a finished version of what this looks like. But super pretty. All right, so if you can just use your imagination about that star there, and you're going to see a finished one, so don't cry. Promise you, I'm going to show it to you. In fact, there's another tree topper idea that I have too. Did anybody get the Jungle Bell punch? Yes, Becky, I love the Jingle Bell punch. Excellent. If you didn't get it, it's not too late. They are still in stock. But here's my tree completed with a ginger bell topper. All right. And you're going to see that. Don't worry. I told you that I have another tree I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you the other look, but this is your jingle bell. What you're going to do is you're going to cut two ginger bells. I think I even taught this last week. You cut two ginger bells, once with the ginger, two jingle bells, one in the silver, one in and I use platinum shimmer, and one in the cranberry red. And then you're gonna just snip the bow off the bells that are in the red, and then adhese that on top of your jingle bell to get the two tone. Does that make sense? All right. And then this that says joy. This is your white. I'm really addicted to these, so you're going to see them on a lot of my pages. We have five different colors, but I used white and I trimmed it in red. So you can just trim the outside of them to get different looks. You can color the whole thing in. You can even ink them to get, we had some girls at the weekend retreat that were inking them to make them super crazy beautiful. All right, this was a mat from the mat pack. And I did the thing where I cut out the middle. The middle had this journal box in it. So I went ahead and this is my journal box that came out of here. I trimmed it down. I have people say, oh, but I don't need, it takes up some space. Well, they make our journal boxes really beautiful. And a lot of us actually journaling is really important. But if for you, if you don't do a lot of it, I can see how you don't need a big old journal box taking up your whole space. So this is ready for a photo. I just grab a photo that will be totally inappropriate here. Um, I'm going to just show you that it's perfect for your photo to plop down. But then the piece that came out, I just trimmed it down to size. I perforated it with my perforating blade. You can probably see the little lines on it for writing. And then I added a sticker bow on the top. And I've been using a lot of the December days stuff too. And so if you see something and you don't see it in your magic of Christmas, look in your December days because it may be in there. And then this is just the circle punch. It's one of the smaller punches like this one. I cut a couple of those out to put up here. I am using the new this is the new rhythm blade here. I think I mentioned maybe last week that I think that's a great blade for beginners because there is no proper way to cut it. It just cuts beautifully. So anyways, there we go. Super, super crazy easy. All right. So that takes care of that little tree trick. All right, let's go and learn another tree trick. Is that what I'm showing you next? Yes. All right, so I'm going to grab that same piece of green and I think I have enough space to do this. I'm going to give it a try anyways. And this time I'm going to use the Ornate Ripple. Sweet Hannah, which is one of my newer scrapbookers, she said she saw Christmas lights. And that had passed through my mind as well, but I hadn't done anything to it until she said it. And so, Hannah, if you're watching, you inspired this beautiful Christmas tree. Hopefully I have room. Oh, it looks like I'm gonna make it. Maybe. This is I cut off my I see it. I was gonna say I cut off my little triangle pattern here. So it's just kind of a see if I got it all. Almost. Maybe do one more, or maybe not. Let me see. It's just a little tiny smidgen on the end there. All right. Things are flying at me around my studio today. It's scary in here. All right. So now what we're going to do is something very similar to what we did on the other. I'm going to build this one on white so you can see what's going on here a little bit better. And I am going to do, I don't know, let's see. Gonna go measure so I can tell you exactly what I did. So three of these little things up, and then I'm going to go to the end. Three of those little things up, and they're going to go to the end. And where I'm cutting, so when I say those little things, it's what looks kind of like light bulbs. And I'm going to go to the end, and I'm going to cut here. Okay, and then I'm going to, if it looks a little raggedy, like I don't like how prominent that looks there, I'm going to kind of trim that off there. And then we'll see how we like it. We can always trim more later. The next one, let me see what I did on that one. Looks like I only did I only did two of them this time, and I snipped it right before. Let me just double check. I don't know. You know what? You know what? Let's don't even pay attention to the measurements. Let's just decide how big you want it and just cut it. All right. So that takes care of that one. All right. And then I need another tier, and I'm going to make this just a little bit smaller. And then another tier. I'm going to make that way you don't have to worry whether you have it big enough. You're just measuring it as you go along because there's no magic here. So there's that. There's the magic of Christmas, of course. And we've got that. All right, now I'm going to take my repo and stick this down. You could build this on my page. I actually built it on a 4x6 piece of cardstock. It may have been bigger. I may have cut the cardstock after I did it, which is sometimes wise since we're not really sure how big it's going to be. And you can put it as close or as far apart as you want. If any of your edges look kind of haggled, you can, soften your edges, do whatever you want. All right, and then since we're partially done with that star, go ahead and finish that for you for this tree. But I have it done on another piece too. You can't resist adding this right now. Da, na, 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 na. All right, so here we go. Oh, you could even leave one on to make it look like that real tree topper, but I'm going to cut that out too. That little ring that fits over the tippy top of your tree. There we go. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that a beautiful star? All right, so that takes care of that. But now, how did I get it? Well, I'm not even gonna do the whole thing to save us all time, but what I am gonna do is show you what I did next. So I grabbed my pens, right, and just threw one on the floor. Let's see if I have. I think on the one that I did, I kind of tried to mix the colors together like that on purpose, pick a green that wasn't the same. So let's try that here. And what I did is I actually colored in. Oh, yeah, this is going to look pretty. Colored in all these spaces, kind of sloppy. Choo, choo, choo. Got the idea? All right, don't color in the lights. Color in all the other spaces though. And then what you're going to do is color in the lights with a variety of different colors, or you could use the same color. Here's red, and you're just going to color in those spots. But I kind of jumped around and I did a variety of colors on my tree lights. And now let me show you what it looks like when it's finished. You're going to say, "Oh, Beckie, you're a genius." Well, maybe you won't. All right, let's see. Makes me feel good to think that though. All right, so this is what this page looks like. That's super pretty. Sorry about this little, it's a glaze to my window here. Is that gorgeous? So I did it on a white piece of paper and I matted it on a dark color. Isn't that pretty? All right, and these are those laser border that comes in the Magic of Christmas pack. These are both mats from the matte pack. And I put a piece of gold shimmer paper through here and I kind of crinkled it there. I hope you like that. All right. Now one of the things, when my kids were little, it was all Santa lot, we always, of course, we sang happy birthday to Jesus and stuff like that. But the little kids and the Santa Claus is kind of a big thing. And this magic of Christmas is going to be great for your children and your grandkids as far as Santa Claus and stuff like that. But I wanted to just make you aware that a simple page by adding angels, you have that more. Let's see if I can block the sun. I don't usually do it this time of day. Um, just adding those simple angels at the top. By the way, I noticed that this is one of my favorites. It's an oldie but goodie. It's called, what did we decide? Um, Scallop, wait, look at my inventory sheet and see if you can't find it. I want to say it's, oh, actually, I think I have one left from the crop. Look in my box here. That would be easier. Yeah, woven scallop. That's what I wanted to say, but it didn't really sound right to me. All right, woven scallop. This is on last chance. So if you didn't get this one, isn't that beautiful? And so what I did is I cut the border, and then after I cut the border, I lined it up to, I believe, the 2 1/4 inch mark. And then I did it again on the other side. That's about as thin as you're going to get to be able to do a border with the border maker cartridge on both sides. And then I added the beautiful angels on the top. This down here is one of the laser borders that comes in that set. And again, if you like to do double page spreads, go ahead and do that. And then don't forget just adding scripture to your page is one thing that you can do. And I kind of, wrote the same scripture twice right across the bottom to bring that more Christian side of Christmas out on that page. Now we had another line that came out called Gingerbread, and that is crazy beautiful. So this one I made with gingerbread. And the reason why I put that little scrap there, it's a reminder to myself, it really won't stay there. But what I did is the mat that came from the mat pack, I actually cut out. I actually cut it out using one of the fancier blades so that this mat over here had a fancy edge to it. And so this is ready for a photo. Again, I'll grab my inappropriate photo down here again and show you this is ready for your photo. All right. All right, it's ready for your photo, but yet we have this beautiful. I just loved baking the world a better place. I couldn't resist that. Thought that was super cute. So I only put this here to distract you from what was underneath. And then this gingerbread house punch, it's so cute. And you can see when you use this punch on a piece of cardstock, this was a 5-minute page. I took a piece of hot fudge and I did the border across the top of the piece of hot fudge. I did the border across the bottom of the hot fudge. I went through with my scallop blade and cut it in between. And I'm seeing for the first time that this side is longer than this side, so I'm going to have to fix that. But anyways, you do want them to be about the same size, of course. And then I put them on the top here. Uh, and because I matted this on white paper, all of the detail of the gingerbread man and the gingerbread house, all of that white that looks like I colored it in, it's just the white cardstock showing through. So this page was crazy simple. Probably the thing, this is a 1 inch strip at the bottom, probably the thing that was the most time consuming, and it only took a minute, was I took my white pen. I don't know if y'all have one of those, but if you don't, I highly recommend it. When you're writing on black colors and stuff, darker colors, it shows up beautifully. You can even journal with it. It's a beautiful writing pen and it's very inexpensive. I want to say $2.50 or something really inexpensive. And what I did after that is I just went and I didn't even care that it was a little bit sloppy. I just did it to add look like frosting. Okay. Is that cool? So that's nothing hard about that. Just wanted to show you how pretty that was. The next one I want to show you a cool little skill. I've been seeing some people doing all kinds of things with it. It's an old skill, but we haven't done it. My clients haven't done it in a while. So I wanted to bring that back. It's making some chevrons. So let me grab my trimmer and cut off some of this paper so I have a nice straight edge. And the dimensions that I'm going to give you, they really don't matter all that much because you might want a big chevron or a fat chevron or a skinny chevron or a small chevron. And so try it, fool around with don't just trust me. Play around with different sizes to see what you like, but I'm going to tell you the dimensions that I was using. Okay. So I cut this at 3 inches. All right. And then I scored it in the middle. So if this is 3 inches, where do I score, boys and girls? So hopefully you're saying at the 1.5 inch. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm scoring at 1.5 inch. Now, when you score, does that cut your paper? Doesn't exactly. So if you score, and I'm going to go a couple times, so it's pretty dense. If you score and it does cut, what that is telling you is that your groove in your mat strip is so used up that this pressure of the scoring blade has cut through your paper. So that is a big dead giveaway. And I knew it wasn't going to happen here because I just changed my strip. When you rub your hand across a matte strip, it should not feel like a volcano has exploded. And if you feel my groove one, it is groovy. In other words, it is coming up. And so you don't want that when that happens. Your cuts are not going to be as clean. And if you use a scoring blade, it's going to cut your paper. So that is like a big old reminder. Ooh, I better change my strip. And you all do know there's 4 sides. So we've got 2 sides on this side to choose from, and we have 2 sides on this. So you don't need tons of strips, but one of the things that you can do if you're on, if you don't come to somebody's crops all the time, where it doesn't matter if you have them stocked up, maybe you come just to a retreat once or twice a year. If you're on groove 4 or groove 3, and you're not going to see your advisor for a while, it's a really good idea to go ahead and get an extra one because we do have a storage space underneath your trimmer for these. So it's just a little flap there, but it will hold it into place very nicely. And you can store it just like you always do. You can shake it, you can drop it, and it's not going to come out. In fact, it's probably going to fight me to get it out now. So there we go. There we go. So, anyways, that's a great place to store it if you feel like you won't be seeing your advisor for a while and your strip is getting, it takes a long time. Those of you that use these know that they last a really long time. All right, so I have scored this. So when I fold it, I'm going to try to, I don't even know if you can see it or not, but what it does is it ensures that when you fold it, it indeed is in the middle all the way down. And you're going to want that for this. You don't want it to be not quite right. Okay. All right. So then what you're going to do, and it doesn't really matter where you put this, but if you put it down towards the bottom, you're going to get more chevron pieces. So I'm putting it on this. There's a diagonal line right here, and I'm going to put it on that diagonal line, and I'm going to do a cut. This particular one, remember to change your blade back out because the scoring one will not cut it. All right, so this one we don't really need, so I'm going to put that aside. Now, for the rest of them, you see where the paper is hanging out. I cut it. It's still leaning here. That's a reminder that you don't do anything to the paper. You're just going to slide it over. And I lined mine up at the 1/2 inch mark, which is the first line over here. Okay. And I'm going to keep cutting as many as you want. I'm not going to keep cutting too many because I'm going to be able to show you what this looks like without doing the whole border and waste your time. But this is what you do over and over and over again as you just cut on that. You're just keeping the angle of that piece of paper and lining it up to that first line. Does it make sense, everybody? All right. Pretty soon we'll have technology where y'all can be screaming at me through Zoom. All right, so that takes care of that. All right, and then you're going to want a piece of paper to build this on. I just have a piece of black here. I am pretty confident that I built it on 2 1/4. So I'm going to assume that that's what I did and just cut 2 1/4. And for the double page spread that I'm doing, cutting one of these up will be enough for a double page spread. Just keep cutting, all right? But I'm just going to do one border here. And what you're going to do is you're going to put one of them down. Let's see. So let me go ahead and put some adhesive on here. By the way, when you pick your piece of paper with some contrast that you think will look nice together. And you want these pieces to be flush. So I'm making it flush to the bottom here. And then Um, there we go. So this is the one you're worried about. All right, now I'm going to get a red. And let's see here. And so, um, let's see, I have to look at my picture. So we're going to go the other direction, this way. All right, so we are going to have them crisscross. So we're going to put him on the bottom. So you're going to do the same thing, one in each direction. All right. So this is the bottom here. This is the bottom here. So when we build again, I'm gonna do, and I think I'm gonna alternate. Did I alternate? Yep, I did. I alternated on my example. All right. So now what we want is the feet to touch. And then we need a yellow, and we want the feet to touch. And you have this going on. Do you like it? Isn't that beautiful? All right. So what I did, I used ginger. I actually really love this color combination, don't you? I might have to finish that one with another spread. All right. So what I did is I did this with the gingerbread line. Let me see if I can block that sun. There we go. And I wanted to this journal box I absolutely love. And what I did is I used my fussy cutting scissors and I cut it out. I cut out this pretty design. It's a different design, but the same idea. And then this is, I'm pretty confident this is the rest of it. Let me get my multi-purpose tool. Oh, this is so funny. Y'all are gonna die. We were making popcorn at my retreat and we didn't have anything. And so I was using my multi-purpose tool. I do not recommend using your multi-purpose tool with hot whatever. So, anyways, this and also I need to put my scissors in I mean, I was just we had no instruments. So that is not going to be any good to us today. I'm glad that I noticed so that I can get myself a new one. But yeah, here we go. This is where I cut this out. Leave it to me. All right. And then this is another mat from the mat pack. It was very oversized. So I did, I cut it down just a little bit. I feel like the rest of this showed up on another page because it was really pretty with the icing. So you'll probably see that on another page. Notice the rounded corners. I don't know how many of you occasionally use your corner rounder. I do a lot of straight cuts, but I just thought with these really sharp points here, that it would be really nice to soften it up with the corner rounder. So I did corner roundering on all of this. I put these stickers on a piece of paper. I cut the paper down and then corner rounder to get that look. All right. So then this I kind of wanted it to look when I think of gingerbread cookies, I think of family heirloom recipes. And so I kind of wanted this paper to almost look parchment. So what I did to give that little parchment look is I used my brown ink and my brown brush. So I simply got some ink on it or chalk and I went around the page to get that tone. So, anyways, that is all I got today. I hope that you love this idea. I certainly thought it was super pretty. I love it through the middle, but you could put it at the top, on the sides, wherever you want. And that's all I got. So let me see if I can get you back. Thank you for watching. Audra was standing in the window to help me there to hide that sun because she was tired of me leaning over at like a really awkward angle. So thank you, Audra. Okay, so hope you like it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting me, whether you're just watching and you're supporting another Creative Memories advisor. We love that you're supporting us and buying from us. So even if it's not me, I appreciate that. And and thanks for following me and liking my videos if they're ones that you enjoy. So anyways, have a great week and I'll see you next week. Bye now.